Yeah, thank you so much for having me again. It's really nice to be back in Jogja, and the vibe in Jogja has always been nice. I really enjoy coming here every time, and because it's a very cultural city, and I really enjoy the youthful energy of the city. So the vibe has been great so far, and the weather has been really cool, and I'm feeling good. Actually, I'm kind of quite free and easy when I'm playing gigs. Usually, I'm just arriving at the venue or the club at least 45 minutes before the set, and just get into the vibe of the party and just talk to some people. Oh, yeah, I like the description elastic because I think it's a good description, and the reason is that because I personally love all types of different music, like from electronic music to jazz to classical music, rock, and everything. So I like my sets to I like my DJ sets to reflect that diversity in my musical taste. So it's not necessarily that I would play a classical song beside a techno track. It's just that I like to mix things up, like play kind of like a different subgenres together to make it more interesting, rather than just playing one genre, like straight techno or straight house. So I would describe my music, my production to be elastic. That's a perfect description. And also, I would say more freestyle and kind of more open-ended. Like so. Yeah. Oh, actually, Love International is my label since 2007, and we are celebrating the 18th year of the label this year. And to be honest, I have been releasing most of my music on Love International over the last 17, 18 years. Because when I first started the label, it was really to create a platform that I can release my own music without having like a gatekeeper to decide whether the music is good enough. And so far we have almost 140, we have more than 140 releases over the last 18 years. At the same time, I think it's also important to release music on other labels, which I'm going to do from now on. More releases on like different labels of friends or like artists that I admire. Yeah, actually, I draw inspiration from everywhere, from life, basically like. And when I'm producing music, it's more an experimentation rather than having a kind of like a preconceived idea of what I would like to make. But back to the actual question, inspiration. I think inspiration comes from everywhere, from living life, from people, from inspiring conversations, from nature, from traveling, from listening to music, from consuming different art forms like movies, reading, listening to music, taking walks. Yeah, I like to take walks like on the beach, for example, or maybe go for a long walk in the nature. And then from that, go into the studio with like a fresh and, with a good energy. Yeah, there's definitely a kind of like a different characteristics in the different cities in Asia. But for me, Indonesia has always been a very musically appreciative country. So it's always a pleasure to play here because I always get a really good response, especially in Jogja. Yeah, when there are more young people here and they're very enthusiastic and they really enjoy the music. Like I can see that the crowd is dancing on the dance floor all night. Apart from Jogja, I also play regularly in Jakarta and Bali, and even within Indonesia, it's quite different because it's like you have kind of different kind of crowd. If we compare the different cities in Asia, I would say that countries like Indonesia, India, Japan, and Korea so far have been really good in terms of like crowd appreciation for the music, yeah. For me, I think rather than trying to predict the future, what I do as an artist is to just be myself, like just to play things that I enjoy rather than what is in trend at the moment. So I think that's quite important for an artist to be able to do it for the long term, to be really authentic and to play what you enjoy rather than following the trend. And I think it's quite hard to predict as well. But I think music always kind of goes in cycles, right? So maybe now Afro House is popular, and then Techno comes back, and then maybe Funky House would be popular again. For me, the philosophy is sharing love, like because music is something that has given me so much in terms of like teaching me to be a better person, to always to continue to want to learn new things and to discover new things and to be open-minded. So I think my philosophy would be that. However, I think it's not necessary for DJs or artists to have a kind of a strict philosophy that you're always kind of like, oh yeah, this is my philosophy, and this is the only way it is, because I think music is very open and it should be open for everyone. And like for example, if your audience comes and listen to you DJ, as long as they have a good time and they leave home happy, I think that's really a good thing. And whether you have a philosophy or not. I think as a DJ, because we are playing music, right? So the music always have to come first, right? So it's very important that the DJ finds the best quality music to play for the audience. And in this current musical landscape with social media and all this branding and kind of like musical promotion stuff, it's I think DJs have to be like many things, like you have to be a good crate digger because you want to find the best music to play, and then you have to be able to promote yourself as well and to sell yourself and to market yourself, and then you also have to, like, what was the other thing, the crate digging and
identity.
Yeah, I think identity comes from doing it, because the more you do, like the longer you do it, you grow as an artist, right? So you develop an identity. Of course, if you can decide before you start doing it, like if you want to have this specific identity, I think that could be a good thing as well, because then you have like a direction, you can go in this direction. So I think they're all quite important, yeah, for any artist to develop themselves. To be honest, the only preparation I do is as a DJ is to find the best quality music that I like and I want to share with the audience. So I would, at least once a week, I would spend the whole day listening to music and looking for the music that I like to play. It doesn't have to be house or techno. It could be any genre. I just like listen and I go through and I'll pick the best tracks that I want to play. But before my gig, usually I don't really plan it. Usually because the different gigs are very different, like different cities, they have different crowd, and so usually I just have my music that I prepared, and I go to the club or the party, and I would just have a look around and see, what kind of crowd is it. Maybe some crowd is like younger, or some of this crowd is like a bit older, or some of this crowd is like, really enjoying what the DJs are playing before me. Then I can see what kind of vibe it is, and I'll kind of come in and improvise. I like to improvise, so I don't really plan in advance. It's more like improvisation. But I know that I have this bunch of amazing music that I've spent a good amount of time to collect, right? So yeah, that's how I usually do it. Yeah. Yeah, there's loads of like special edits that I can't wait to play. Not much from myself because since I released my last album in 2024, I haven't really produced much in the studio because I've been touring so much. But I recently just got my new computer, so I have my new studio. So I'm going to start producing again, and I'm quite excited to see what's going to come out. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of collaboration. You know, working with like different musicians, and I want to create something that's that has a stronger identity in terms of like maybe sampling sampling like traditional music from the region, and bring kind of adding more value to the music, you know, rather than just playing like, oh yeah, the typical stuff that you find on Big Pot. I think it's quite important so far to bring more value in terms of like introducing, you know, like the cultural elements from our country or from our culture, you know, like, I mean, Asia is so rich in culture and diversity. So I think it's time to like to combine a bit more of that to our music and share it with the world, you know. I would like the crowd to feel a sense of freedom and to feel like, oh, anything can happen, because I like to give surprises, you know, like in my sets. At the same time, I also like to entertain the crowd. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna feel fun, and it's gonna feel exciting, and also a bit unpredictable. You know, because I think, you know, like we all as human beings, we enjoy a bit of like surprises, right? Sometimes you're like, okay, you're dancing, and suddenly, oh, I didn't expect that, but I didn't even know that could be something that I really enjoy. But then when the surprise comes, like, wow, I really love it, you know. So I like to create that kind of, you know. And I think what I'm trying to do when I'm DJing as well is to kind of lead the crowd gently with me, and then when they're with me, to start giving like surprises that would challenge the, you know, like the expectation of the crowd, so that, you know, like, oh yeah, it's a surprise, and you feel even better about it, and you discover that, you know, oh, actually, oh, I didn't expect that this song can actually be played with this track like that, you know, like maybe like jump from house to techno and then to disco, you know, and then to breakbeat, right? I like to do that, yeah, because I think us as we are Asians in Asia, it's so diverse, right? And, you know, culturally, food, languages, and I think it's I enjoy sharing that kind of that philosophy, maybe we can call it, you know, like in terms of openness, like, you know, to be like, okay, it could be anything, like mix and match, like macam rojak lah, you know, campur, like, you know, yeah. Release-wise, as I mentioned just now, I'm going to start working on some new music. Just take some time to get my studio organized, and so I'm excited to share new music when they're done over the next 6 to 12 months. In terms of other projects, I'll be touring Europe this year, and also I'm looking to tour North and South America. So that's going to be something that I'm really looking forward to. Yeah. Because the last couple of years I've been mostly traveling around Asia, you know. Yeah, so I think that is something that is going to be really good. Yeah.
Okay. The last one, the latest one. Describe your relationship with music in 3 words.
In 3 words, I would just say I love music, you know. Yeah, this is the 3 words. I love music, or maybe I would describe it as a lifelong obsession. But that's 2 words, right? It's going to be a really fun night tonight.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.